Just a moment, I'm trying to help another customer.
Alex, this whisper chip you gave me, it's an easy plant?
You're heading into TF-29? Already?
Our enemies aren't waiting around while we lick our wounds.
Fair enough. There'll be a data port on the NSN's motherboard. Access it and then just plug and play. Or plug and record in this case.
Got it. I'll let you know when it's done.
I think Director Miller's making a mistake, putting all our resources into finding these Dubai newcomers. Having an unidentified enemy is bad, but we were right there at the Jinn's doorstep, and now we're letting ourselves get distracted.
I've been trying to ID the bodies of the people who crashed the operation in Dubai. Every mystery team corpse I've checked so far has been totally clean, like he never existed. Whoever these people are, they're damn good.
This is bad. We need to increase security at the CDC. Biological warfare is going to be the World War III that wipes out all of humanity.
You probably haven't heard yet, but TF-29 now has an official psychologist. Dr. Delara Ozen. With a name like that, she should be running a sanitarium.
I've been trying to ID the bodies of the people who crashed the operation in Dubai.
Good to see you're okay.
Might as well be ghosts.
After what happened at the train station, you should ask Director Miller for some time.
You'd think one of them would pop up on some list somewhere.
Anomaly
Run
detected.
DNA checks through all the alphabet.
Trace program initiated. Access granted.
These guys might as well be ghosts.
We're still trying to find the identity of the train station bomber, but we don't have much to go on. We'll let Miller know when we have something concrete.
The police response to the attack wouldn't have been so extreme if they were better organized and less corrupt. Our contact in the state police is really coming through for us this week. We're learning all kinds of
Patience
amazing
is the
things
first
about
thing to
how they
learn to
work.
have. Second is a good soft chair. Smiley was going on about hexogen. I don't know what he was talking about.
Thanks. Keep digging.
Why can't he just say explosives like normal people? If you do want to know more, ask him.
If we want to catch Janus, we're going to have to get creative because nothing we're currently
Maybe
doing
whoever's in charge
works.
doesn't
Close
want
my eyes,
anyone
but
to
all I
feel
see is
safe.
strings.
I want to let the collective into one of our systems, so we can
Right
fight the
here.
back trace.
No change
but
from last
change such
hour.
too risky.
Nice one in Dubai, Jensen, as always.
It'd be easier
I don't
if
care what
someone would
anyone-
just step up and do
Probably
it.
the best agent we have.
Oh shit.
Right
The
now, I
Vector
think my
Institute
blood
is one of the only places in the world that has smallpox samples. I can't believe they still keep samples of smallpox. This is why science is evil.
There was another breach our firewall last night. The reason I know it isn't the Juggernaut Collective who tried to hack us is that they gave up after only an hour.
You know who's been suspiciously quiet the last couple of days? The collective.
Keep digging.
Judging by their silence, maybe Janus's people have some respect for the victims of terrorism.
It's not easy piecing together surveillance footage from the train station. Some of it's scrambled, in a way that can't be explained by physical damage. I bet the cameras in the train station were hacked to hide the bomber's identity. It's funny, a lot of the time the garbage data follows the path you were taking.
Not now, Jensen. I'm dealing with the situation here. Caldwell's gone. Sorry. Guess I'll never get used to the fact that sometimes the good guys don't win. Sometimes our guys don't make it back.
The thing about the Russians is, they never tell you the whole story.
So you succeeded in Dubai. Big deal. Need to get back to work.
Run DNA checks through all the
You probably haven't heard yet, but TF-29 now has an official psychologist.
Access granted. Anomaly detected. Trace program initiated. Access granted.
In the last 2 days, web traffic in Prague has gone up 73%. With the extra online activities of the bombing, it's people seeking information about the augmented and wanting to know what the authorities are doing.
I've been trying to ID the bodies of the people who crashed the operation. I've been trying to ID the bodies of the people who crashed the operation in Dubai. I think one of them will pop up on some list somewhere.
Adam, you're here. You made it in. It's good to see you're okay.
Hey, Aria, yeah, it was a close call. I got lucky. A lot of people didn't.
I was here working when the first reports came in. It was chaos. Phones ringing off the hook, people yelling, scrambling to find out what was going on. Then when Miller told me you were there,
I'm all right.
Good. You looking for him? Because he's tied up right now, a meeting with Lyon, I think.
Really? He's using the NSN right now?
Yeah, I just saw him. Oh, hey, that reminds me, here's yours.
What's this?
The card for the shooting range. Chang changed all the codes this morning, said something about only giving access to people he's vetted personally. The bombing really freaked him out. Third one in 6 months, can you believe it? I'm really glad you're okay.
Thanks, Aria. I'll let you get back to what you were doing.
Yeah, I better get back downstairs. It's gonna be a busy day. Come by later if you want to talk.
Copy that.
I think Singh's got some kind of adrenaline addiction. He plays it too close to the edge.
He made it out of Dubai, didn't he?
I'm telling you, if it had been anyone but Jensen on the ground, Singh would be dead.
Well, you know what? I think you're right about that. I've got to hand it to you for your role in Dubai.
First the Dubai mission and now the train station bombing. This is a week for the record books. They say bad things come in threes. I hope they're wrong. Because I don't think we're equipped to handle another terror problem this week.
I'm not afraid of a little enemy fire, but I know I couldn't have done what you did for Singh. After Cybercrime's division is combing the web for any hint of those mystery guys from Dubai. That's not really our area of expertise. Miller wants these guys bad. After Cybercrime's division is combing the web for any hint of those mystery guys from Dubai. That's not really our area of expertise.
Access granted.
Anomaly detected. Trace program initiated. Access granted.
Alex, the whisper chip is in.
Weird, it's already picking up a freak. Jesus, Adam, is Miller in there right now?
Shit, gotta go.
Jensen, I need to see you, now!
Agent Jensen reporting for duty, sir. Tried to do it earlier, but you were on a conference call.
Yeah, I was. Should I be worried about you, Jensen?
Sorry.
That blow you took to your systems. It's not messing with your head or anything, making you do things.
I'm not gonna go crazy and start attacking people, if that's what you're worried about.
You've been checked out then. The problem with your orgs is gone.
I took care of it.
Good, good. God knows, with all that's happened, I need you at 100% right now.
You sounded pissed when you called me in. Everything okay?
Don't ever leave the field, Jensen. You'll regret it. As soon as you strap a desk to your ass, you'll be swimming in goddamn politics.
The boss is giving you trouble?
What? Oh, that. No, the trouble's state police. They're pushing us out of the Rosika investigation. I want you over there to make sure that doesn't happen.
You're putting me on the train station attack? Not Dubai?
Forget Dubai. McCready's handling it.
Good. Thought I'd have to fight him to let me handle this one. Whoever planted those bombs yesterday has a lot to answer for.
Agreed. And we have to find out who they are before the state police fuck up our crime scene.
You said they're trying to push us out?
I sent Fletcher in this morning to oversee evidence collection. Seems he's being detained, because he hasn't checked in since.
They can't lock us out. The Czech Republic signed our UN mandate agreement. They gave us jurisdiction over terrorist investigations.
Yeah, well, the former director of their security information services runs state police now. He's come up with a loophole, claiming this attack falls under the homegrown terror exemption.
Homegrown? He's saying it's ARC? The Augmented Rights Coalition?
I don't care what he's saying. He may even be right. I just want us in there so we can find out.
So where do I start?
Technically, you're supposed to speak to our psychologist before getting back into action.
I don't need a shrink.
Convenient because she's not in the office right now, and I don't want to waste any more time.
So how do I get to Rosika? Public transportation's not stopping there.
It will for you once I make a phone call. Head to the metro and call me when you're there. Good luck, Agent.
It is
Agent Singh. Wasn't expecting to see you again, in civvies at least.
Just passing through. I wanted to thank your team for the backup in Dubai. That sting went to hell faster than the storm did.
You're welcome, but I don't think you came all this way to say thanks.
Director Miller asked me to get Agent McCready up to speed. Now I have the red-eye flight back to Oman.
Headed into the field office there?
Not exactly. One of our black sites. I'll be dropped in as a captured enemy combatant. After I contact my fellow Jinn prisoners, I shall lead a very convenient escape.
Re-embedding with the Jinn. Aren't you taking a big risk, given everything that happened?
No choice. That ambush knocked everyone on their asses. TF-29, Bell Tower, the Jinn. To cover all the angles, I need to go back. Hopefully my cover is still good. You killing the signal booster at the hotel should help.
You're thinking the Jinn can get a beat on our gate crashers faster than TF-29?
Perhaps. They do not like loose ends. An augmented kill squad with military training. Have you ever seen anything like it?
Yeah, once. But it's a long story. Did we get anything out of the cleanup operation?
Mostly corpses. Heavily augmented, as you know. Under those gold masks, they were ID scrubbed. No prints, no dentals, no DNA match. Professional.
Could still be ex-Bell Tower. Plenty of men and material went AWOL after the incident. A competing faction that listened in on Shepard's sale.
It's a possibility. The audits and investigations of Bell Tower will go on for years before we know how many rats jumped from that ship. At least we recovered the weapons. Unlisted. High spec. Military-grade augmentation. Enough to build another couple of you. That is a joke.
Right. It's the world we live in. Anyone with an exemption to the weaponized augment ban is a useful tool. Or a terrorist. Whoever they were, they knew exactly when the deal was going down. Any chance they were based locally, in Dubai?
No. After the incident, Dubai became the world's most luxurious tombstone. Perfect for the Jinn, but for no one else.
I thought human augmentation was frowned on in the Middle East. Why was Dubai hit so hard?
Because it was another world. Two other worlds, in fact. One of extreme augmentations in gold or crystal, and one of thousands of workers outfitted for construction. Then, that day.
I know.
No, Agent Jensen, you could not. Some called it divine punishment. But that day was not the work of a merciful God.
I don't envy what you've got ahead of you.
Actually, I'm looking forward to it. The truth is, when you've been under for long enough, you only feel like an imposter out here, in the real world.
Yeah, I understand the feeling.
I'm scheduled to return from the dead at 0:30 Omani time. I had better get back to study.
This is my third overtime shift this month.
If we want to catch Janus, we're going to have to get creative because nothing we're currently doing works.
It's good we're going after the Red Arrow Triad, but we can't do everything at once.
I want to let the Collective into one of our systems, so we can set up a backtrace, but Chang says it's too risky.
Anomaly detected. Trace program initiated. Access granted.
These guys might as well be ghosts.
And a more in-depth look at UN Security Resolution 3507, also known as Human Restoration. This legislation is passed, calls for the removal and downgrade of
Anomaly detected. Trace program initiated.
These guys might as well be ghosts.
Access granted.
to designated AUG-only locations.
I guess the transit authority
Safety is the primary concern, especially in the wake of the AUG incident, where millions of people lost their lives due to
You'd think one of them would pop up on some list somewhere.
Opponents of the legislation
I've got to hand it to you for your role in Dubai.
and many of
I'm not afraid of a little enemy fire, but I know I couldn't have done what you did for Singh.
First the Dubai mission, and now the train station bombing.
God, my
This
eyes
is a
want to retreat into Mrs. Gold.
for any break in the story. This is Eliza Kazan, reporting to you live from Pike.
run DNA checks through all the alphabet. Nothing.
I hate this. I really hate this.
In yet another augmented terror attack, 261 passengers
Anomaly detected. Trace program initiated. Access granted.
That horrible day 2 years ago when augmented people all over the world flew into a psychotic killer. Terrifying memories of that day still.
Is there something I can help you with, Agent?
I hear you're on point looking into the gold mask mercs that hit us in Dubai. Any leads yet?
Christ, I know I'm good, Jensen, but I've only been on it for 5 minutes.
A lot can happen in 5 minutes, McCready. You check with the ME yet? Get anything off the bodies we recovered?
Leftovers are on ice at the Oman substation. I've been told they were scrubbed clean as summer whites. No prints, no dental, no nothing.
So in other words, it's no steps forward and 2 steps back.
For now. That's why it's a good thing you disabled the Jinn's comms booster in Dubai. Singh's cover with the Jinn is still intact. I'm hoping once he's back in Basra, he can use his network to dig around. Maybe these gold mask jokers will ping locally. Probably another fucking jihad looking to make some noise.
I don't know. I'm not so sure we should be looking for these guys in the desert.
Ah, is that so? You have some new information you feel like sharing?
Come on, McCready. These guys were augmented with military-grade hardware. Body augmentation goes against Muslim beliefs. They weren't jihadists. We're dealing with something new here.
I can see where you're going with this, Jensen, and I'm asking you right now to back off it. It's not your case.
Come on, McCready. We're not a couple of beat cops filling a monthly quota here. This isn't about whose collar it is. It's about getting the people responsible. Full stop.
Look, I get what you're saying, but I'm working a $5 investigation on 50 cents worth of shit. I've got speculation to spare, mate. Listen, I know I come off strong. I've got 3 ex-wives that'll back that up. But that's just how I'm built. Putting on a show for the new guys isn't gonna change what's underneath.
I can appreciate that kind of honesty.
Good. So when I say I'm impressed with how you handled yourself in Dubai, you can appreciate that I meant it. With that sandstorm giving us colonics, stripping the juice box out the chopper was an inspired choice. But that mission is over, and your involvement in it ends now. Got it?
Yeah. But tell me, why do you think the bodies from Dubai were sent to Oman?
Fuck knows. Rumor is that Oman was pissed that we got the green light for the gig in the first place. Can't blame them, really.
You don't think it's strange we got the call over them?
I stopped questioning the logic of the big noise a long time ago. What I'm told is we were the only team ready to go.
Yeah, that's what I heard too.
So then you know what I know. Is that everything?
How the hell did you get such a sunny disposition anyway, McCready?
Knowing about me is not going to make us friends, Jensen. But I'll humor you. Fine. I joined regular army straight out of secondary school, made UKSF at 25 and was recruited into the SRR 4 years later.
Special Reconnaissance Regiment. That's an elite unit.
Oh yeah, it's very glamorous. All champagne and blowjobs.
So what happened?
After 12 years hunting terrorist shitbirds across every desert on the face of the earth, I found there was no fucking end to the evil this world churned out. I couldn't see the point in what we were doing anymore. So I quit.
So what brought you back to the life?
I suppose it was purpose. A tool without a job to do can only grow rust. So here I am, back in it, serving my purpose. As a tool yourself, mate, you should understand that, yeah?
Yeah, I got it. It was nice talking to you, McCready.
No, it wasn't.
The people studying the train station security camera footage asked my opinion about how vulnerable the surveillance systems were. Any grade B hacker could have tampered with the station security cameras. It would have taken half an hour. 10 minutes.
Great! I was hoping you two could tell me I was worrying over nothing. Now I feel worse than before.
You. But they're never going to be the time to broadcast that sweatshop during the halftime show.
No, it's the right access granted.
To be honest. I'd love to get a look at the bond site myself, but
I get that he's undercover, but Vince should check in more often. If something happens to Black, we're never gonna know.
The problem with the collective is that they've branded themselves as online Robin Hoods.
We work for the guy and he doesn't
We're
trust
advising
us.
people to stay at home, so someone needs to be the example.
Black must have some kind of thing where he thinks everybody's a spy for the enemy.
There are problems with this system, but that doesn't give anyone the right to commit
Maybe whoever's in
informational
charge
terrorism.
doesn't want anyone to feel safe.
Anomaly detected. Trace program initiated. Access granted.
Thanks. Keep digging.
scrubbing through garbage for hours. Still not. I highly doubt.
Maybe it's a cliche that in order to catch a criminal, you have to think like one, but it also happens to be true. We need a better plan to catch Janus, because we've been after him for 2 years and we haven't gotten anywhere.
It's not like I support what the collective is doing. We have to laugh at some of the crazy things people do, or else we go crazy ourselves.
It'd be easier if someone would just step up and do it. Janus relies on public perception.
Anomaly detected. Trace program initiated.
Maybe whoever's in charge doesn't want it.
Access granted.
Still nothing.
What I need you to do is listen to me.
Hey, Agent Jensen. Nice work in Dubai. But still, you know what I want to know is who those ogged up guys in the gold masks were. I'll be compiling all the case files, and as soon as I know anything, it'll be up on the board.
It'd be easier if someone would just step
Hey, it's a good thing you got that signal booster offline. Agent Singh spent a long time getting in with the Jinn. Be a shame to have it blow his cover. The New Sons of Freedom, or NSF, is a small group of militant constitutionalists and secessionists operating in the continental United States, particularly in the Pacific Northwest. The group was formed as a reaction to the American government's increasingly authoritarian regime. NSF is committed to fighting the influence and control of a group of unknown people they believe to be the Illuminati with strategic guerrilla warfare strikes. They are suspected of having ties with Janus and the Juggernaut Collective.
Composition could tell us a lot, but it's the trigger.
What to say about the Juggernaut Collective that isn't speculation. A bunch of their members were running operations out of Montreal in 27, resurfacing for a while in 28. You heard of the Rifleman Bank Station? Bell Tower? Anyway, the Collective is a group of hacker activists, or hacktivists. Oh, God, I hate that word. Dedicated to the cause of freedom. At least that's what they say, or what their actions appear to say. They fight corruption by exposing hypocrisy and protecting the unprotected. No one knows the real power structure inside of the Collective, but there is one name that echoes over the dark. And that name that echoes even louder than Hex, and you can talk to Peter Chang if you don't believe me, that name is Janus. And some say Janus runs everything, while others think there is no Janus.
Maybe the connection.
Janus. I mean, what can you say about him? Or her? Nobody really knows who or what Janus is. But what many believe is that Janus is running the most dangerous hacking group in the world, attacking corrupt politicians and businesses on a global scale. The corporate world is terrified of Janus.
Close my eyes.
Samizdat is an underground news outlet that likes to think of itself as the real news. They are anti-establishment and anti-almost everything else, including business addresses, so we like to keep our eyes and ears open for any mention of them. Here we go, the Church of the Machine God, and to some, the Church of the Machine, without the God. And then again, to others, the Singularity Church of the Machine God. This group has so many names and subgroups, it's hard to keep track. And believe it or not, they've been around in one form or another since the early 1970s. There are a lot of contradictory reports on who they are and what they want, but in general, they all want the same thing. They want to merge their consciousnesses and become one with the Machine God through a ritual they call Ascension.
Maybe whoever's in charge doesn't want anyone to feel sick.
The Church of the Machine God has a leader, but all we know about her at this point is that she's a woman, and they call her Mother. That's creepy, right? I think that's really creepy.
I'd rather not say what this reminds me of.
There's a rumor that the Church of the Machine God is building a machine that will help bring forth the Singularity. Sure, I guess that's a possibility. I'm just not sure what they would plug that machine into. You know as much as I do about these guys. They're augmented, well-trained, and very dangerous. And they seem to be massing weapons and augs for some sort of attack. We don't know what yet.
They don't want to be caught in Dragnet.
You've heard of these guys. ARC, or the Augmented Rights Coalition. They're a human rights group who, on the surface at least, is trying to provide equal rights for augmented people. It was started by Dr. Talos Rucker, soon after the AUG incident when Rucker started to speak out against the anti-AUG legislation that was being passed by several local governments. If you ask me, it's not working. They seem to be getting worse. ARC preaches non-violence, but a string of terror attacks has put them on the terror watch list. So I'll let you be the judge.
Look, I'm sorry, we're all in strung out shape.
Dr. Talos Rucker, former limb clinic doctor and current leader of the Augmented Rights Coalition. Rucker has chosen to leave his native Germany and to live in the Utilek complex near Prague as a protest to draw attention to the upcoming Human Restoration Act vote. Rucker is a pacifist and believes that what is happening in Prague is what will happen all over the world if the Restoration Act becomes law.
It'd be easier if someone would just step up and do it.
Ah, Agent Singh, great poker player. I still owe him 100 credits. So I hope his incursion with the gin lasts another few months. You know, maybe he'll forget I owe him the money. Otar's right-hand man is this guy, Bano. Not the sharpest tool in the shed, if you know what I mean, but he's strong and loyal, something Otar values greatly.
If there's something here, I'll find it.
Security over there.
Otar Botkavelli. This guy's a classic. They don't make many like him anymore. Sharp mind, a real businessman. One of those gangsters who thinks that crime is a necessary evil, no? If it's gonna happen, he's there to make sure people have respect and make good money. Good business.
You know, state police.
Do you think one of them would pop up on some
the Diwali called this guy Constantine. Like that's supposed to be intimidating, right? We don't have a last name for Constantine, but until his death in the Brzezika bombing, he was a high-placed member of the Diwali crime family, answering to Otar Botkavelli. We suspect he has lots of connections in the other echelons of the organization, all the way up to Radish Nikoladze and beyond.
They're like serial killers. Deep down, they all want to be caught.
I suspect that he's a Pakan, a spy that watches the Diwali lieutenant closely to make sure he doesn't make a move on the boss.
Composition can
Classic
tell us a
Diwali
lot,
structure
but
has
it's the
two
trigger that
spies, or
makes it
Pakans, working for the lieutenant who report directly to the boss, to make sure he stays the boss. Those guys are pretty violent.
Oh my god, it's a comedy of errors.
Oh, here we go. The Diwali crime family. As you may already know, they're one of the largest crime syndicates in Eastern Europe, but they do business almost everywhere, from Northern Europe all the way to the Middle East. After their humble beginnings in a coastal town in Georgia, the Diwali quickly moved from gambling to more lucrative criminal enterprises, until they found their specialty, smuggling, which includes human trafficking too. The Diwali can get anything to anywhere. It's as if borders just don't exist to them. But their rapid expansion came at the cost of their Georgian purity, when they started incorporating an ever-increasing number of Russians into the group. If you ask me, I think a major power struggle is coming within the Diwali. One of the old versus the new. The past versus the future. Ah, the elusive Radish Nikoladze. This guy's a piece of work. Driven and ruthless. When he came up, he was the youngest boss in the Diwali crime family. The man spends more money on suits than most people spend on their houses. But don't let the looks in the haute couture fool you. He's the boss, he's in control, and he's squashed more than a few people who've tried to take him down along the way.
They don't care about jurisdiction.
Ah, Wasim Alam, the head of the Jinn, former limb clinic doctor and surgeon before he turned to more profitable enterprises. He brings the same cold and calculated approach he brought to saving lives to running his business with his brother, Solar.
They're like serial killers. Deep down, they all want to be caught.
This guy is the face of the Jinn and a charismatic force of nature. They call him the Bull of the North and the Heart of the Jinn. Real name Solar. Works in conjunction with his cold and calculating brother, Wasim, who saved his life during the AUG incident. He is proudly augmented and parades his AUGs around wherever and whenever he likes. The hatred of AUGs from groups around the world has only emboldened him and his organization.
Just wish someone would nut up and take the blame.
I would have thought you'd had your fill of these guys since Dubai, Jensen.
Who am I?
The
I'm the
Jinn,
guy doing his
a
fucking
group of
job. Who the
smugglers
fuck
led
are
by
you?
twin brothers Salar and Wasim Alam. Their exact base of operations is unknown, but it's most likely in Muscat, Oman. The brothers Alam have been in operation since 2020 and have greatly expanded their operations since then, recruiting mercenaries, ex-military, nationalistic agitators, and other colorful criminal agitators from Afghanistan, Iran, Iraq, Saudi Arabia, and the surrounding region. They deal in drugs, weapons, medical implants, AUGs, and they occasionally throw in some human trafficking.
There's something here, I'll find it.
Our arms dealer Shepard, aka John Trent, is a former Special Forces commander and ex-Bell Tower operative. And as is typical for those ex-Bell Tower employees, he's been selling off old Bell Tower tech and weapons. But we don't need to worry about him anymore. He was killed by
I'm
those
sorry, we're all in strung out shape.
Purity First is an anti-AUG group dedicated to keeping humans human, all pure, no augmentations. In their obsessive pursuit of this goal, they have taken extreme measures and are suspected of being responsible for multiple acts of breaking and entering, vandalism, and theft. On occasion, they've even become violent, being implicated in several assaults and murders as they push for their goal of human purity. They've been quiet since the incident.
I'm glad to hear the harvesters are dying out. They were sickening. Fucking harvesters. I hate anybody who sells other people or their parts, even if those parts aren't flesh and blood.
Jensen, we need to talk. My God, Jensen, I heard about the explosion. We should relocate. I was thinking we could corner Director Miller together. Tell him it's not safe enough here.
We're fine, Chang.
The police station, the train station, we're next. I can feel it. I can more than feel it. I can see it happening.
No one knows where we are. There's no reason to get paranoid.
That's where you're wrong. They're trying to pull the lid off of us, Jensen, or someone is. Davos just got hacked.
Our building's front company. Thought it was fake.
I wish it was fake. Miller's got me cleaning up IntelliCam footage from the attack to help figure out who these people are. Meanwhile, maybe they're trying to figure out who we are? Why else poke into an import company?
You think someone's figured out that the company's a front? Maybe they know what's really down here.
We have a lot of enemies. The people who bombed the train station. You don't think they'd love to know where we are? You need to help me figure out who's looking into us and make them stop.
I'm gonna need more information about this snoop of yours.
I don't know for sure that our cover's been blown, but if it has, we need to know before our enemies have a chance to do something about it.
You got an MO in this hacker?
At first I thought it might be the Collective.
But you're not convinced?
Not Janus's style to leave crumbs this big. But whoever it is, they risk exposing us. If the Collective ever found out where we operate... My God, Jensen.
Maybe Janus knows already.
Hey, don't say shit like that. I get nervous enough as it is.
What can you tell me about our front company?
Praha Davos was designed to be forgettable. The kind of place you walk by 100 times and still can't remember.
It obviously caught someone's attention. What happens if we're compromised?
My guess, we dismantle and disappear. Agents go into hiding, Director burrows into some hole, poof, no Christmas party.
You really think there's a risk here? Maybe someone's just poking around the fake website of a fake company.
If someone points a gun at me, I assume it's loaded. If someone hacks into the website of the company that serves as our cover, I assume they're doing it for a bad reason.
Such as?
Everything depends on who they are and what they know. But we're in the business of dealing with terrorists. If those terrorists find out where we are...
TF-29 likes its privacy.
Sure. More importantly, Chang likes being in one piece. Unlike you, I don't just brush off explosions. I need you to find out as much as you can about our Snoop. Make sure we're not in danger.
All right. You have any leads?
I traced our hacker Snoop to an unrented apartment. Top floor, 33 Hlavny. Just down the street. This guy walks by us every single day. Probably walks in.
You're kidding.
See? You feel it now. The constant buried alive feeling. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought we were supposed to be suspicious of things that go on outside these walls.
It's never that simple.
Just get into that apartment.
Access the computer they used and find out what you can. And be careful, Jensen. We don't know who we're dealing with.
I'll look into it. As soon as I know something, so will you.
Anomaly detected. Trace program initiated. Access granted. Anomaly detected. Trace program initiated. Anomaly detected. Access granted.
I can't really talk to you now. I'm busy.
A word of advice. Stay off the Augrites web pages this week. Everybody on the Pro-Aug forums has some kind of theory about the train station. Finding a signal in all that noise is going to be next to impossible.
Anomaly detected. Trace program initiated. Access granted.
Hey, Adam. Hey, Adam, hang on a sec. Filling out supply request forms for McCready and his boys is tedious as hell, but I don't want to give him another reason to say no.
Say no to what?
Are you kidding me? Right now, you're the only active augmented agent we have. I'm hoping to change that, been asking him every week practically, but so far, permission denied.
Really? He give you a reason?
Says my stress levels are too high. Told me I should sign up for meditation classes and drag Chang in with me so he'd chill out and stop changing security codes all the time. It sucks because I really wanted to find out who those crashers in Dubai were.
You were saying your stress levels were affecting your chances of becoming a field agent. Why is that?
I have a rare resistance to neuropazine. I need more than the average person, especially in stressful situations. They say I'd be too expensive, so it's not just discrimination. That would be easier to deal with. It's a combination of things.
Well, that combination of things is pretty bad in Prague, and getting worse.
I know, but Interpol was the only agency who would give me a chance, and this is where I was assigned. I have no problem with that. I'll take whatever they throw at me.
Good.
It took me months of rehabilitation, getting used to the new arm, learning how to shoot again, learning how to tie my own boots. But I did it, and I'm better than I was before. I want to help, and I can. My place is out there in the field where I can make a difference. You know that. And if you can do it, so can I.
Don't give up, Arya. Semper Fi.
Hoorah.
After the bombing, when Chang changed all the locks and codes, was he under orders? Was there a credible threat to our location?
Maybe, but I don't think so. You know how he gets. Still, he wasn't the only one overreacting this time. A lot of people have been here for over 36 hours, and the state police have not exactly been cooperative.
I can imagine.
It took several hours before we got the security footage from the train station and surrounding streets. It's like they don't trust Interpol. It's weird. I can almost understand Chang's paranoia.
Well, Chang doesn't trust anyone, especially anyone in law enforcement.
Well, if you thought he was high-strung before, the attack only made him more manic. He's making connections no one else sees, and some that may not be there.
Explosions tend to damage things like sensitive electronic equipment.
Right? Try telling him that.
I still can't believe Miller gave the gold mask case to McCready.
Oh, I'm sorry, Adam. You were there too. You're probably as pissed about those guys getting the drop on the team in Dubai as McCready is. I don't know what would have happened if you hadn't been there. Agent Singh might have been killed.
Well, I better let you get back to work.
Yeah, sure. Talk to you later.
Anomaly detected. Trace program initiated. Access granted.
Hey, Adam.
So, you've decided you need some practice, huh? You know the best tip my training officer ever gave me? Reload your weapon before it's empty. Saves time. If you zoom in using iron sight, you'll acquire targets faster. Try it. You'll see the difference. Of course, you know a headshot is the fastest way to take down a target. But watch out for helmets. They'll slow you down. Okay, if your target is wearing armor, you'll do less damage per round. Remember that, Agent. The right tool for the right situation. Could save your life. Now, let's take a look at the technical targets. These are tougher to disable using regular ammo. They tell me shooting security devices isn't usually the best way to go. You should try to disable them. Once you've disabled a security device, your armor-piercing rounds will take it out more easily. You should always have at least one backup weapon, so you can improvise, adapt, overcome any situation. Hoorah! Seems like you're warmed up now. Let's go over some of the other aspects of your weapons. I like how silencers reduce sound, but the trade-off is less stopping power, less damage per hit. See how much extra ammo you need because of the silencer? Back to normal. But if you need to be quiet, Adam, the silencer's the way to go. Just remember the decreased damage. You know, there are several other types of attachments you can use to upgrade your weapons. Keep your eyes open for them. Again, reloading your weapon before it's empty saves time. Pistol in full auto will take down targets fast, but it'll burn through your ammo. That's your refresher, but I'm sure you already knew all that stuff, Adam. Feel free to come back anytime.
Lidi mě budou hledat, jejich ochočený zvířátko.
Somewhere in this city, there's a mob-owned casino in the sewer. Now I've heard everything. Imagine you're a lieutenant in the crime family, and your boss sets you up in the sewer. I bet you'd be pretty pissed at him.
Anomaly detected. Trace program initiated. Access granted. Access granted.
Let's pretend you're right. Why would somebody be reading our emails?
Are you kidding? Whoever's doing it is spying on us from the inside.
Suppose I believe you. For who?
Who knows? Terrorists, corporations, a hostile government? Maybe even somebody at Interpol who wants to keep us in line. Not now. Go away.
I think this place is starting to get to me, too.
I'll run it through a few filters.
Anomaly detected. Trace program initiated. Access granted.
The train station is spotty at best.
Not now, Jensen. We're dealing with a situation here.
Things got pretty hairy inside.
Anomaly detected. Trace program initiated. Access granted. Anomaly detected. Trace program initiated. Access granted.
These are the chances he knew he was taking.
Anomaly detected. Trace program initiated. Access granted.
I feel terrible for his wife.
I'd rather not say what this reminds me of. Things got pretty hairy inside. Most likely eyewitnesses. The smart move. They don't want to be caught in the dragnet.